Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. Happy July. This video is going to be a July energy reading, I guess, for the collective. I am going to be offering personal July readings if you are interested. They'll be available from July 1st through the 7th. And I can leave all my information in the description box for anybody that's interested. Okay. I had my deck sitting under my selenite wand that I just copped recently. Had to get another one because I gifted my other one away. So yeah, pretty much I'm gonna just do a spread that will give us some, tell us what the vibes is for July. Because I feel like it's good to have some type of, just have an idea of what is to come so that you can prepare for it. And not saying that you should say that this is written in stone or anything, because we have free will, and we can direct our lives in any way that we choose to direct it. But when you see what energy is surrounding a certain time period or a situation, it gives you insight. And who doesn't love insight? Y'all, I've been really struggling trying to learn how to do this shit. Let me show you. Really be taking me like 10 minutes just to shuffle the cards. Oh, you're not gonna be able to see it, but ay, pero. Okay. See, I did it though. I did it kinda. Y'all saw that. Okay. Whew. Let me find out I'm growing up and glowing up. Love to see it. As I can't shuffle again. I have like some specific questions I'm asking, so we'll get into it. And sugar honey iced tea. These just don't like me. They're doing it's just like me. Also, my locks are gonna be, I think, 4 months. 4 months old. Oh, my babies are growing up. They're growing up. They're definitely maturing. Let me know if y'all are interested in lock videos. Also, it's my good sis Lina's birthday today. I'm gonna put her YouTube in the description box because she's also a content creator, and she also has a GoFundMe. And I'm about to drop a GoFundMe too, so y'all support that as well, please and thank you. But yeah, it's Lina's birthday. Happy birthday, queen. I'm about to be on my way to you after this video, babe. I think my issues, I need a surface to put it on. Okay, the more you know. The more you know. I just saw the Fool card, which is very fitting. It's a new month, new beginnings. So we're definitely feeling the new energy. And honestly, probably in my up and coming videos, I'll probably talk about astrology some more in it. I'm not sure all the retrogrades that are currently happening right now, but I know there's like probably 6, correct me if I'm wrong, but like somewhere between 5 and 6 retrogrades. So there's definitely a lot of new energy coming up. Energy is definitely changing up. And also Mars just entered Aries, and that's one that's like something I've definitely been feeling. Like I've been feeling like a burst of energy, of different types of energy. Let me stop. But no, like literally I've just had a lot of motivation all of a sudden, and I love that because sometimes the intrinsic motivation do not be there. Like it be in my head. And yeah. Alright, but let's get into the reading. What's the collective energy right now and like the main thing for July? That makes sense because the 5 of Wands just came out. That makes sense. I feel like that is Mars and Aries energy right there. Yeah. Okay, so what are the past? I'm looking over here because I wrote down the spread. Now we want to know what are the past influences, like from maybe previous months from the rest of the year that are still lingering on right now into the month of July. This could be good energy, bad energy, neutral energy. King of Swords. Okay, I feel like that's a good thing. It's definitely a good thing. What should we be open to as a collective? What are the possibilities that might come to us this month? You know, things that we should not overlook. Ooh. 2 cards just came out, so I might use both of them. Okay, let's just use both of them. We got Ace of Cups and we got 9 of Pentacles. Also, like, it's kind of similar, but what roadblocks are you might encounter, something that you should be aware of. Roadblocks, you know, things that might get in the way of you accomplishing whatever you want to accomplish for this month. And also a side note, hold on, let me put the card first. What roadblocks, what might we encounter as a collective? Ooh, that is crazy. Queen of Swords, High Priestess. Oh, got it. With every new month, you should write down your goals. Like, you don't have to make like a long list of goals. Maybe it's just 2 or 3 things that you have that, okay, by the end of this month, I want to see these things happen. And then you can make smaller goals that will help you accomplish the bigger goals. And also, we're at the halfway point of 2020. It's just wild. The shit flew by. But with that being said, maybe you can make like a 6-month plan, not only just a plan for July, but a 6-month plan for the rest of the year, so that the goals that you might have set in January that haven't really taken off like you wish they would have, or like you assumed, or whatever you thought was going to happen, you can still bring those into fruition before 2020, Mercury in retrograde, but before 2020 ends. So I would definitely recommend that. And I also would recommend to take notes during this, because you never know, and that way you can look back at it at the end of July or in the middle of July when something comes up, and you'll find like a snippet of information that might benefit you. Okay. How can you practice How can you practice self-care? I'm actually interested to see what's gonna come out, because I feel like it won't be like obvious self-care, because I feel like self-care gets placed into a box at times as to what it looks like. And sometimes I feel like it gets misconstrued, because self-care can be perceived as like you being a bad friend or you being a bad something to somebody else, and I don't like that at times. I don't like that, period. How can you practice self-care? Dang, should have. Ooh. 9 of Swords. I like that. I like that. I like that a lot. Look at this person. Why am I shaking like that? Anyways. Okay. But yeah, like, they look like they're grieving. Something's keeping them up at night. But I feel like this is telling you that you have to sit with these emotions. Like, that is self-care. Not running away from the emotions that you're feeling. Like, you feel me? The thoughts that you have, not running away from them. Okay. Tarot. What do I need to make time? What do we all need to make time for? Not just me, but the collective. This is a collective reading. What do we need to make time for? Ooh. 2 of Wands. I think this is telling us that we need to plan out our goals. Like I just said before the card even came out, I can't make this up. I cannot make it up. But no, for real, like, plan out for the rest of the year, definitely. Maybe even make like a 5 and 10 year plan. Like, we have time. We need to get it right. Okay. What should be a goal for you, for the collective, for us, for the July period? So by the time July ends, we can say that we accomplished this thing. Oop. That was enough for me. Okay, the Star card. Key goal. I think to remain hopeful, to be optimistic should be a goal of yours, because especially in a time like this where things are not necessarily what we know them to be. And when we fear comes into play when we are uncertain about what the future holds. So I think a goal is to just be optimistic that the future that you desire, and not that you desire because like you see it on Instagram, but you desire because your authentic self desires that future, will manifest. So I think that's a goal of ours. I like that. I like this reading a lot. Okay, spread, working out. I'm definitely going to use this for my readings that I'm going to start on tomorrow. Okay, and the last card I'm going to pull is advice and encouragement. Something that will, like, you know, and maybe... This nigga. Let's see. Since I was rudely interrupted by my father. Ooh. Ace of Swords. Pat out. Okay. Okay, y'all. My dad interrupted me, so I had to switch locations. I'm back. Okay. So the main theme of the month that we have so the main theme of the month was Five of Wands. And what I'm getting from that is that we might experience a lot of conflict. That could be internal conflict that we're dealing with in ourselves, which I am kind of picking up on that. I'll get back to that. But it also could be like conflict with like maybe peers, or whoever, just conflict that is arising. Like I said, Mars is in Aries right now, so that would make sense. But the good thing about that is this conflict isn't just like conflict that, you know, creates drama in your life. Not saying that it won't create drama, but this conflict will lead to you feeling very inspired. It'll, like, you ever get in an argument, or like, let's say you break up with your boyfriend or something like that, and now you like, oh, I'm about to do better for myself, I'm about to do this, and like that happens all the time. Sorry about the lighting changes. But yeah, like this conflict is gonna lead you to feel inspired for the rest of the month and the rest of the year. So I mean, I wouldn't look at that as a problem, or like fear, coward in fear, because there's going to be conflict this month, or because of you're experiencing some sort of conflict, because conflict leads to growth, it leads to change, and that sounds like a good thing to me. The second position was past influences. I live on a main street. I don't know why I thought this was a good idea. Past influences that are affecting your month, and the King of Swords came out. So I honestly think that that's a good thing. I feel like we're very rational right now, which is interesting. I feel like we've had to make a lot of important decisions as of late, maybe in regards to finances, maybe in regards to, I don't know. I feel like it's a collective reading, so it's gonna be different for everyone. But finances just came to me, so maybe that's what it had to be for. And I feel like maybe it was like important decisions that will help you lead to your growth, that will help you become the person that you want to become. So I feel like the fact that energy is still lingering is not bad. It's just reminding us of what decisions did you make. Maybe like you had to cut some things out of your life so that you can become the person that you wanted to become. That was an important decision for you. And keep those things in your mind throughout the month. I wouldn't let go of that. Keep that in your mind. The fact that it's lingering on right now is not a bad thing. You should let it linger so that you can remember why you chose to cut those things out of your life, so that you can remember what goals you have and the person that you're trying to, the person that you're trying to step into, the higher self that you know that you already are, because it's already within you. You just have to bring it out. So yeah, if you haven't already wrote down you know, what things you need to cut out of your life, I would do that now. Maybe it was just like a mental thing that you had in your head for last month, or for for the past like couple 6 months or whatever, 4 to 6 months, I would say. If it's been in your mind out and you haven't written it down, I would suggest writing those things down. Okay, the third position I pulled, 2 cards came out, so I just left both of them out. It was what should you be open to, and what possibilities like will lie ahead this month. And 9 of Cups and the 9 of Pentacles and the Ace of Cups came out. So I would say, I think the Ace of Cups came out. So emotional fulfillment. Be open to that. And like I said, the Star card came out later, which is hope, like being hopeful. But definitely Ace of Cups is emotional fulfillment. Like, be open to your emotional needs being met. Be open to your cup running over. Like, I always say that, because if you look at this card, like, there's a cup literally and it's filling over with water. Like, and being open to like your emotions being expressed in a healthy manner. Like, you don't always have to express them with anger. You can express them with, you know, with a higher awareness of what the root of the emotions are, and that way you'll be able to communicate it. There's so much going on. That way you'll be able to communicate it properly to the people around you. Also, this is just saying, like, to be open to happiness, period. Like, I feel like a lot of us don't know what true happiness is, and we're like closed off to it. We don't even realize it. Like, we don't think it's attainable. So be open to happiness, and also be open to success. Like, your deepest desires of like things that you want to see happen in your life are possible, and you can make them happen. Whether that be like, also, like, I feel like people should start gardening. Something just came to me like that. If you want to start a garden, start a garden. Like, this is your what? Your divine symbol, I guess. Start a garden. Yeah. Be open, like I said, be open to emotional fulfillment. Be open to all of your emotional needs being met. And honestly, do not shame yourself for the way that looks. Like, if it takes, you know, a few people, like, okay, this is in regards to like monogamy, and I'm not anti-monogamy at all, but let's say that you have a partner, you love them, but they're not fulfilling all of your emotional needs. You don't want them to be out of your life. You just have other emotional needs that need to be met. And I'm not even talking about sexual right now or any physical needs. This is straight emotional. Communicate that to your partner. We already had a communication card that came out, and try to do that effectively, because Mercury is in retrograde. So that's going to be kind of difficult to do. Well, not difficult, but there might be some resistance there, stopping the communication from being seamless. But learn how to communicate your needs with the people that you love in your life. And like I said, I always say compassionate communication reigns supreme for me. So yeah, don't feel shame. Do not allow yourself to feel shame for having desires, for what emotional fulfillment looks like for you, and communicating that to people who might not, you know, view that as a norm, or might view that as like taboo. So yeah, just learn how to be authentic with yourself, and learn how to communicate that to your environment. What should you be aware of, cautious of, or what might be roadblocks to you? The cards that came out were the Queen of Swords and the High Priestess. So I feel like, be aware of yourself, like your true self. Your subconscious mind can be your worst your worst enemy or your best friend. And I feel like it's a mixture of both at times. Be aware of what you're feeding your subconscious mind, what media you're consuming, what you tell yourself repetitively, and what you allow people to tell you repetitively. Because the way you program your mind, your subconscious mind, let me see if I can do this. Repetition, so telling yourself something over and over and over again, or allowing yourself to consume something over and over and over again. Symbols, such as like, you know, advertisements, how they all have logos like that. You're conditioned by that. Like when you see the McDonald's logo, you already know what time it is. Like your brain knows what time it is. Symbols, repetition, and trauma. So like experiencing some type of traumatic experience will literally alter your subconscious brain. Also, something that you should be cautious of is defensiveness with the Queen of Swords coming out. Feeling the need to always explain yourself, feeling the need to always, like, you know, come at somebody in defense of yourself and your energy, or just talking too much, like, period. And I feel like I can resonate with that. I have heavy air sign energy, so Gemini moon, you know, air sign, I'm an Aquarius sun, Libra rising, and I hope y'all can hear me. Yeah, talking too much, that could, just be aware of that. That could be at your detriment. I don't know if that's how you use that word, but see, again, talking too much, I don't even know what I'm talking about. But yeah, talking too much, maybe like even like talking about your plans, talking about the things that you want to manifest. Try not to do that. I feel like when you do that too much, it kind of prevents things from manifesting, because sometimes your goals and your dreams are too big for other people to grasp them. But honestly, if you can think about it, if you can dream about it, it's attainable. So even if like you love them, it could be your mom, and your mom, in her mind, college is necessary. College is, you know, you have to go to college in order to be successful, but you want to be a YouTube creator. And you're like, Mom, I want to do YouTube. And she's like, oh, like that might be interesting. You should still do it, but maybe you shouldn't like put all your time and energy into it. Just that energy of doubt might stifle your results. Might, you know, that energy, like you don't want it. So speaking about it too soon, speaking about your goals prematurely might negatively affect you. It might be a roadblock for you, and you should be aware of that. Okay, the next position, how can you practice self-care, was the 9 of Swords. And I would say sitting with your emotions, allowing yourself to grieve when things leave your life, allowing yourself to cry, to feel anxiety, to feel depression. Not saying that you should soak in it, but when it comes up in you, like whenever you experience it, allowing yourself to sit with it, like, okay, this is what it is, this is why I'm feeling it, and kind of like question yourself. And like honestly, sometimes you don't even have to question yourself. Sometimes you just have to feel it and acknowledge it. That's enough. But if you can get to the root of it and like see why they're feeling, like maybe it's jealousy, like, okay, why am I feeling jealousy in this moment? Is it because I feel like I'm not good enough? Is it because I feel like if this person is doing this, that one thing, it means that they can't also love me? Is it because of, you know, sometimes I feel like getting inquisitive about the feelings that you're feeling can also be beneficial, but you don't want to overthink it as well. There's a balance. You know, there's always a balance between tipping too far to one side and tipping too far to the other side. And sometimes it's like walking on a tightrope. Like, it's very tricky to do that sometimes, but yeah, definitely to practice self-care this month, allow yourself to feel all the feels, like all of the feels. And it's Cancer season, like you're gonna feel the feels, so just allow it to happen. Don't push it away, don't resist it, learn to surrender to it. Definitely, surrender is the self-care practice of July. What do we need to make time for? The Two of Wands came out. I would say planning, exploring all your options. Literally sit down, schedule 30 minutes to an hour. I don't know how long it's going to take you, 15 minutes out of your day, and just put a timer on and get a pen and paper. If that's how you like to do things, I prefer to do it the pen and paper method. and make a list. Like I said, maybe you need to make a 5-year plan, a 10-year plan, and a 6-month plan for the last 6 months of the year, and see what you explore your options, and maybe put things on there that might seem a little outlandish, that might seem I took my earring out, y'all. Okay, well now I gotta take the other one out. Through the technical difficulties, unbreakable. Explore the possibilities. Don't think too small about it. Like, you've already accomplished a lot. You've definitely made moves already, but realize that you literally have the whole world in your hands. Like, you can make whatever you want. See it? You can bring whatever you want to fruition. And we already saw in the 3rd position, the possibilities of this year was already 9 of Pentacles energy. So that's telling you can make it happen. So don't put yourself in a box, and don't think too small about this. You can literally manifest whatever you want to manifest. The goal for you should be hope, positivity. A key goal should be having faith, being hopeful, and also having hope, having faith, and you nurturing this environment that you're in. You can't expect things to grow, things to blossom if you're not nurturing it, if you're not putting it in sunlight, if you're not putting it, giving it water and fertilizing it, and doing all the things. And like I did mention a garden earlier in this reading, so like maybe that wasn't an actual garden, maybe that was just like, and it could be, but we don't do absolute statements over here, but maybe it's just figurative for like you nurturing things around you so that they can manifest and blossom and bloom, and so that you can reap the benefits. Like, you reap what you sow. Yeah, also as above so below. So the actions that you should take to bring all your deepest desires and all of the things that you've been plotting on, that you're gonna write down on a piece of paper in your 5-year plan and your 6-year plan, into the way that you'll manifest all the desires that you just wrote down on your piece of paper for your 5-year plan, your 10-year plan, and your 6-month plan for the end of the year, is by nurturing your surroundings, nurturing yourself, learning how to master balance. And like I even talked about that with this card coming out. You don't want to overthink to the point where you don't want to sit with your feelings and think about them and analyze them and criticize them to the point where you are overthinking, and it's like, you can't really move past it, but you do want to sit with it so that you can acknowledge it and see what it is and see what the root of it is. So the way actions that you should take is, being balanced, nurturing your surroundings, whatever that may look like for you. That could be cultivating a daily practice where certain things get done on a daily basis, so that by the end of the month you'll have progress in it, or by the end of the year you'll have seen changes in whatever you're trying to manifest. But yeah, and also the last card was advice and encouragement, and the Ace of Swords came out. In order to be successful, you need to have a clear mind. I think seek clarity, seek mental clarity, and maybe you need to get a reading. And I'm not just saying that because I read cards and I want y'all to book with me, even though y'all should book with me, but seek clarity. Maybe that's just you taking a walk in nature once a week or every day, whatever works for you. Maybe that's you doing yoga. Give yourself mental clarity. When you can operate from a clear mind, like, it really just changes everything, and you'll be way more successful with whatever you're trying to do. Even if that's just you trying to communicate properly. It doesn't have to be about you manifesting like this, success, but it will help you do that as well. But even in your like little minute day-to-day tasks, getting through life, getting through your day without feeling like every step you're taking is dragging you down. Mental clarity will help you with that. So one way will be getting a reading done, prayer, meditation, yoga, exercise, period, dancing, personal hygiene for me really does help me with that. Like, you know, doing little, like getting my feet done, you know, keeping up with myself helps me stay mentally clear. And that doesn't have to be me spending money on it. I could do it on my own. And yeah, that's the advice I would give you. Find a way that works for you, and you might have to like experiment with a lot of them because everything ain't for everybody. But how will you know until you try? So, but yeah, the advice and encouragement for the month is just find a way to give yourself mental clarity. That's a lifetime. That's lifetime advice, and also like it's a tool that you'll be able to use for a lifetime. So that's the end of the reading. Sorry about all the chaos that ensued between this, but I'm still gonna post it because this is real life, and that's how it should be happening sometimes. I hope your July is as wonderful as I know it can be, and I hope all your deepest desires come true. And book with me. Also, like, share, and subscribe. You already know how that goes. And happy July.